Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. And here you found the goodest good possible, the greatest show about happiness, joy on the internet. Finding happiness and joy with Edwin and Barry. There is no greater show on earth. Welcome. Get ready. Buckle up, because you're about to find happiness and joy. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking. You're always looking for and finding the good in abundance, because you have tuned in conscientiously to the best, the most upbeat, the most uplifting, the most transformational podcast on the internet regarding two pieces of the same coin, two sides of the same coin, happiness and joy, with your chief happiness officer of the world, Edwin Edberry, my dear beloved friend, he's having some technology issue. Okay. Life, right? And your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore. We're here, and especially here for you. See, I said, and welcome to you good-looking people everywhere. Now, how can I make the categorical statement that all the tens of thousands, because really you already have tens of thousands of people that tune in the first and third Thursday of every month. Bookmark it, share it. Urge your family, urge your friends, urge your non-friends, urge people you don't even like or they don't like you to tune in and listen, because it will make a difference. It's transformative. Okay. He's shutting down the second time. Okay. I'll just tell him we're here. All right. It's called life. And I'm just so happy that we even have the ability to do this. Now, what is this? So this show is called Finding Happiness and Joy with Edwin and Barry. And I said about being good looking. So what is a good looking person? What's the definition of a good looking person? You could probably conjure up in your minds, names of people you think, oh, well, those are good-looking people. I mean, they're stars and they're well-known and they're rich and handsome, like Barry Shore. Okay, but that's not really the definition of a good-looking person. The good-looking person is, by definition, someone who is always looking for and finding the good in life. Let me repeat that. Because when you begin to internalize, utilize, and leverage this in your life, it will enable you to have a shift in your perspective. By the way, Oh Shift is the title of my latest book. And I've been working with people for more than 42 years. And I can tell you, 97.2% of all the people I ever worked with, and I'm talking about stellar performers, when they start working with me, they drop the F and shift and the other stuff happens. So you're going to be effing careful with your Fs. So you want to be able to have that shift in perspective and understand that for you, the definition of a good-looking person is someone who's always looking for and finding the good in life. Isn't that wonderful? Is that not worth the price of admission alone? Looking for and finding the good in life, when that becomes part of your very being, when your eyes are attuned that way, when your ears are attuned that way, when your speech is attuned that way, when your thoughts are attuned that way, and your deeds are attuned that way, well, guess what happens? You now live in a world that is good looking, because you're always looking for and finding the good. Does that mean that there's only good in the world? I'm going to shake you up right now. And the answer is yes. Oh, come on, Barry Shore. How can you say there's only good in the world when there's war raging? I mean, war, not just in the country of Israel, fighting against two-legged beings posing as humans. We're talking about war raging throughout the world. I can give you 12 other what they call hotspots around the world. But let's be very blunt. The forces of good are always, always fighting the forces of evil. And one of the greatest forces of good that I know on this planet has just been able to join in with us. And his name is wonderful Edwin. Edwin Edward. He is the Chief Happiness Officer for the world. Welcome, dear Edwin. Oh, he has one. Okay, he's visually here. And now we're going to get him tuned in so we can hear him and you can hear him. Okay, let's try it again. Wonderful, Edwin. Let's try something else. I can't try one more time. I can see you. I can see you gesturing. We yet to have audio. So keep playing with it. And whenever you're here. And I will just continue working with people and telling them something that I hope is shaking them up. I've given them two things already, Edwin, from you and from me. One is that the definition of a good looking person is someone who's always looking for and finding the good in life. Now, I said the corollary to that, the next step, does that mean that there's only good in the world, Barry? And I said something that I think is riling a lot of people, making them sit up and take notice and saying, well, that can't be true, because I said the answer is yes. Yes, there's only good in the world. Now, does that mean that it's easily discernible? That even in the midst of the toughest of times, which is what war is, there is nothing more difficult. There is nothing more hellish. There is nothing more challenging than war. I will also tell you, and I do not in any way, minimize the ferociousness and the possibilities that come with that hate that fuels war. But the greatest battle is always within oneself. That's right. For oneself, for you to be able to recognize the good in the world and to find it, to seek it out, and become what we call a cog, a channel of goodness. When you resolve to make sure that you are a channel of goodness, then you become a child of God. By definition, God is all good, all powerful, all available at all times. There is no exception anywhere in the world. Things can shift very quickly, very quickly. It's up to each and every one of us. The one is the key, O-N-E. You are one. And when you are one with the one, then you make a difference. Now, again, I'm not just using words and saying platitudes and being upbeat and just for the sake of being upbeat. I'm telling you that which animates me, which animates the people I associate with, which animates the people I love to be with, and which animates the people that I share with. Edwin is a perfect example. Edwin and Barry come from two different worlds, seemingly. Well, we don't. We come from the same world. There's only one world. There's only one God. There's only one possibility of living life to the full, and that is living life with joy and happiness and joy. And that's why we do this show. We invest our time. Our time, thank God, is in terms of money is very valuable. We invest it here because we believe, not just believe, we know for a fact that this conversation, this inspiration, this information, very available other places. What you can't get almost any other place is the T word. Transformation. So we're going to talk about transformation today because, again, the world is on a precipice. It always is, always was, always will be. There is actual war, fighting, good versus evil. That is the war. Please, please understand. Do not make the incorrect assumption that it's two cultures, it's two peoples, it's land. Absolutely not. It's good versus evil. And if it's not clear where the good is and it's not clear where the evil is, then you will always have a problem. I want to take a look at a couple of things right now. Edwin asked me, what should be our topic today? And until he's able to get back with us over his technical difficulties, I will go forward. So here is the topic today. Laughter. Laughter. Come on, Barry Shore. How can you talk about laughter in this most tenuous of times? Because laughter is truly one of the greatest mechanisms that the human being has for reducing, minimizing stress, anxiety, distraction, worry, and fear. Did I say those right? I mean, does anybody know what I just talked about? You want to reduce or minimize stress, anxiety, distraction, worry, and fear. Laughter is the best way to do it. Now, I'm going to share something with all of us that I think will push you to the edge of believability when listening and working with Barry and Edwin and Barry. The laughter that I'm talking about has to do with self-deprecating humor. Okay, those are big words, Barry Shule. What did you just say? Self-deprecating humor means the ability to laugh at oneself. I'm talking about laughing at oneself. When you can do that, when you can recognize that you as a human being are in process, that in and of itself will enable you to be more gentle, more loving, more understanding, more caring for those who deserve it. Now, when you say, wait a minute, everybody deserves it. That's true. Many people have decided to remove themselves from what we call the planet of humanity. There's a very famous Christmas carol. God rest ye merry gentlemen. And it goes on, but it's talking about to give peace to people of good will. It doesn't say peace unto everybody. That will be the result. But we begin with peace to people of goodwill. If people have malign interests, that means negative, that means hate-filled, that means directed at anger or directed with anger, with a desire to do harm and kill and maim and torture. Those are not people of goodwill. And we cannot, and you cannot allow yourself to treat people who have chosen that route and live with them as if they're people of goodwill. Not possible. Now, in our own human experience, let's not talk about war raging. In our own human experience, I hope and I pray, and let's see what's going to happen. Okay, I see him. Edwin, let's see if we can hear you. I can see your lips moving. I know the words you're saying, and you're asking, can you hear me? It's just, what's, again, I'm laughing. I'm not crying. I'm crying because I want everybody to hear Edwin's words and what he has to say about this. I'm just, I'm laughing because that's what we're talking about today, right, Edwin? We're talking about laughter. We're talking about self-deprecating humor. And I'm just so sorry to say, I wonder if it's something on my end. One second. Mute, unmute. No. And you don't have anybody then around that can have push every button and it's just not working, right? Yeah, I see your lips moving. I know you're speaking, and it's a pleasure. I see, look at him. I see that smile, that laughter. And again, the issue at hand today is laughter is going to make a major difference in the world. And I'm going to tell you two other pieces about the word laughter. In English, we spell it, of course, Laughter, laughter. Now, if you do something really interesting, if you put an S, the letter S in front of the word laughter, you have a whole new word. It's pronounced differently. It's called slaughter. You see, what you really want to avoid is the S at the beginning of laughter. What you want to do is use the S letter at the end of laughter. So it becomes laughters. Laughters. How can you tickle yourself? What can you do in your life to create for yourself a laughter process? And I'm talking about every single day of the year. Every single day of your life, every single day. It doesn't matter. And I'd like you to do it twice a day, before noon and afternoon. And I'm talking for at least 9 seconds. Now you say, oh, Barry, of course, 9 seconds. Anybody can do that. Will you be amazed? I have worked with people, and I actually still work with people who, when I ask them, how often do you laugh during the course of a day? I'm talking about really straightforward, thinking, honest people. I've had one woman, enormously successful on paper, everything you would even want in life. And she says, I haven't laughed in 3 days. That's a wow. Because how do you function in life on a high level and be a channel of goodness and a child of God and a conduit if you're not laughing? And again, I'm talking about the first way of laughing is laughing at yourself. Hello. I mean, look what's happening right now. Edwin and I are connected and we're not connected. I mean, it's just too funny, right? We don't want it to be this way. And his laughter is so good. If you can get laughter from your face down into your belly, if you can have a belly laugh for 9 seconds in the course of a day, it's worth more than any massage you'll ever get, than any visit to a chiropractor, than any visit to a therapist. Laughter is absolutely the best medicine in life. And I think you'd agree with me, Edwin, right? He says yes. And again, we're using sign language. And I just don't know. It's probably something on my end. I'm just thinking out loud. There's something on my end that I'm not doing that is preventing you from being heard. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm wrong, but I I don't know what to do, which is why I'm laughing, of course, because I'll keep talking. Because he says to me, "Okay, so I am here as a representative for my dear beloved friend Edwin Edberry. Also, I told you he is the chief happiness officer of the world." And I want to promote two things right now. Number one, I want to promote Edwin's new book, because Edwin is, we call it writing, but nobody writes anymore. He's doing it on the computer and things like that. But he is producing a gift to the world. And his gift to the world is that happiness is a learnable skill. Let's talk about this, because it's so critical. And people think happiness, of course, that's one of the greatest emotions in the world. Well, it certainly is. If it remains as an emotion, then it will never be able to produce the kind of feeling, the kind of motion, the kind of penetration in you and everybody around you. When it becomes a skill, and you can learn it. Edwin is producing a book, a manual, a guide that enables everyone to learn the skills to become happy. Everybody says, wait a minute, you can't buy happiness. So you can get his book. But don't just get the book. Read the book. Don't just read the book. Use the book. Don't just use the book. Make it your transformative manual for success, because that's really what this is about. See, this show is not about Edwin, even a great guy. Not about Barry, fabulous fellow. It's about you. YOU, you being the best you possible. When you're the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. So the formula, and it's a formula, the formula given to us by wonderful Edwin is his book that's coming out in just a few months. And I'm going to urge the millions and millions of people to get the book, because it's so vital It's called happiness, a learnable skill. So that's one piece. The second piece is, as I said, that we're going to use laughter in the midst of some of the most turbulent turmoil that the world has experienced in 81 years. Now, why do I use that number of 81? I'll tell you right now. Something happened, a great cataclysmic upheaval, the last great earthquake that shook the world, that caused the death of not just tens of millions, but hundreds of millions. Oh, this is interesting. Maybe people can't hear me. Although they can, I don't know if you can see me or hear me. I hope you can hear me. It's interesting. I think I'm broadcasting. Blake Harwell, can you hear me? Not just Edwin. Well, please make a note. Okay, that would be interesting. So, my point is that we are in the midst of turmoil, cataclysmic upheaval. It was September 1st, 1939. That is when Germany, Nazi Germany, invaded Poland and created the conflagration worldwide called World War II. That was the beginning of it. It had been going on for a year or two or three before that, but that was it. And when that happened, that sparked the tinderbox that created World War. And it was truly World War. It was the forces of fascism, Nazism, militarism, communism, all the isms that were given over into one distilled poison. And that poison that was driving Europe primarily, less so Japan, but that poison that was driving Europe and Russia is Jew hatred. That's right, hatred of Jews. It's called anti-Semitism, but it's really the hatred of Jews. Blake, can you tell us if you can hear me? I'd like you to post something there. All right, if you can or you can't. Interesting. We're just going to continue. So that was the last great upheaval. That was 81 years ago, September 1st, 1939. The genius of what I'm telling you today about laughter, self-deprecating humor, laughing at oneself, laughing at the situation, falling down in laughter, belly laughter, and recognizing that there is the Creator, the one God that does have everything in control and bringing good to the world. We may not be able to see it. Not only may not, it's very difficult to see. The word evil, by the way, E-V-I-L, is a very fascinating word because there's three words in evil. You take the same letters and you rearrange them and you spell the word veil, V-E-I-L. A veil covers the eyes. It doesn't allow you to see perfectly clearly. Also, the same letters that spell evil, if you read them the other way, L-I-V-E, live. Evil can be turned on its head. All that's necessary is for people who are evil or support evil is to abandon evil. Can it be done quickly? Can it be done possibly? Yes. I know, I've seen it. On a human level, in one-to-ones, on a group level. There are opportunities in the world. The opportunity lies with us. It is incumbent upon us, each individual one of us. By the way, us stands for United Souls. When we think of us as united souls, we can pray. We can do things. I'm going to give you the formula that's going to make prayer so real, so vital, so uplifting, so beneficial that when you do this, it will shake up the world, make a difference. Prayer alone, praying, pleading, begging, calling out, help, help, help. It's wonderful. Here's the formula for success. Couple that prayer with an act of goodness. Simple act. Give something to charity. Say hello to somebody with a smile, meeting them with your eyes. Have your eyes light up when you see somebody. Share a good word. Did I tell you today how much I appreciate you? Make a phone call. Pray, call out, plead, and couple it with a deed, an action. It's the formula. More powerful than E equals MC squared. More powerful than any kind of weapon you can imagine. Prayer coupled with an action shifts the world. And you got to keep your F in place because the other stuff can easily happen. You want to shift the world? Prayer with an action, and make it a conscious action. Give some charity. Say hello to somebody eyeball to eyeball. Smile from the heart. Tell somebody how much you appreciate them. Reach out in an act, a conscious, loving, positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant act. The world is changed, and you did it. You made a shift, and it's just a slight shift. And what happens? You create a new world. CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. That's what you want to do. When you do that, you will be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever know. I share these with you willingly because you have the formula now. What's the formula for pushing aside evil and turning it, get rid of the veil and turn it into live? Prayer coupled with positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant action. You do that, now these 6 words come into being, to play. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will not only help you determine the pathway of your life, but the trajectory. Yes, it's in your hands. This show's about you. It's not about Barry. It's not about Edwin. It's about you. Y-O-U. We urge you. We plead with you. We beg you. Bookmark this podcast at first and third Thursday of every month for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. That's one. Second thing is, share this with 5 people. Did I say 25, 50, or 100, 1,000? You want to do that? That's great. Post it on your Instagram, your TikTok, put it everywhere you want. Share with at least 5 people that you care about. We have over 10,000 people, thank God, tuning in every week, every show, first and third Thursday of the month. Let's increase that by 5-fold, and then 5-fold again, and 5-fold again, till we touch 1 million plus people. And guess what happens? Together, we create what I call a tsunami of goodness. Always. You want to wear a toga? You know what a toga is? A Roman toga? Look it up if you don't know, or a Greek toga. Tsunami of goodness. Always. Because that's who you are. You are a channel of goodness. You are a child of God. You have happiness given to you. You're going to get Edwin's book. Happiness is a learnable skill. Skill means you're capable. Everybody can learn to be happy all the time. All the time. That's right. Yes, Barry Shore. Did he say all the time? Yes. Be a good-looking person. Choose to be a good-looking person. What's good looking? Always looking for and finding the good. There is good in the world. Look for it, find it, magnify it, embrace it, utilize it, leverage it, and go forth. So our blessing from Edwin and Barry is, well, first we'll give you a hug. Let's do a group hug. We like doing that. HUG stands for heartfelt, unlimited giving. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And our blessing from Edwin and Barry is go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Good day. beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. And here you found the goodest good possible, the greatest show about happiness, joy on the internet. Finding Happiness and Joy with Edwin and Barry. There is no greater show on earth. Welcome. Get ready. Buckle up, because you're about to find happiness and joy.